Yeah, buddy. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football, and it's Sunday night, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here, and I'm here with the boys, with my guys, the Walshes. You see who's next to me, Mr. Green Bay himself, Mr. Dylan Walsh. What up, Dylan?
Hello. I don't have to be depressed yet because the Packers have not played.
They play tomorrow, and they should get the victory. They should.
The entire team is still injured, so we'll see how many players we get back.
and Bakhtiari, he's done for the year.
Yeah, but that's expected. Seasons.
Yeah.
I go in projecting over like it's a benefit if it's a good season if he plays 2 games.
Wow.
Only got 1 this year. We'll see what happens next year. We're looking for 3 quarters next year.
The check cashed, and he said he was good to go. And his brother, his older brother, from it's at VCU, Collin Walsh got the W.
Hello.
Still feel the same way though.
Matt Canada needs to go. That our offense somehow looked worse than against the Texans. I'm not even sure how that's possible, but they looked worse than they did against the Texans, except for like the last half of the fourth quarter. We somehow remembered how to play offense. So, fire Matt Canada. Get Kenny Pickett in offensive lines. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, we're going to talk about Kenny Pickett because for most of this game, Kenny
he was
bad. He looked rough. Some of those passes weren't even close. But look, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know, we are live with Collin and Dylan Walsh. This is Sunday night recap before the late game after the first two slated games. But there was another game, ladies and gentlemen. And
on Thursday night.
I was on here a week ago saying that Washington had a bye week. Now you might see I'm wearing random stuff. It's all different. Yeah. Because like my team, I'm a clown. And I was completely wrong. Washington is hot garbage. Ladies and gentlemen, it didn't even look pretty. And for those of you that do not know, Washington lost to how many wins has the Bears had coming into this game?
I think they hadn't won a game since last October.
So yeah, since Elon Musk bought Twitter.
Since Elon Musk's Twitter. In that span of time, every North American sports team has won at least one game from every league, from the NFL to the MLB to the NHL to the NBA. Every team since then has won a game except for the Chicago Bears until Thursday night.
So, the Commanders, they look like a joke. They look like
they are a joke. So that means
they are a joke. Yeah.
The Commanders are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
Denny.
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook. Now, if you,
they are indeed who we thought they were.
That's what happens when you barely beat the Broncos and the Cardinals and go in thinking you're a playoff team. The Eagles just play every game close, so they don't really count.
Right.
And so got blown out by the Bills.
It was false expectations. We thought, my God, we played the Eagles close. Nope. How you doing, Miss Walsh? How you doing? It's the Walsh boys. Yes. And they did have a bye week because they didn't. Yeah, they did. You're right. So we didn't show up at all. It was absolutely. Look, I have since Thursday tried to figure out what it was exactly. I said, hey, short week.
Yes, everything.
I mean, it was a short week. Our defensive coordinator, Del Rio, he tends to have struggle early in the season. Last 4 years, he's given up 30, an average of 30 points in the first 4 to 5 games. Eventually he gets it together, but it doesn't look pretty early. I've even tried to defend Ron and say, hey, Ron, they play for you. They love you. But gentlemen, just go ahead. I don't even care anymore. Talk to me. Talk about our deficiencies. We're terrible.
So I'll start off. I missed the first half of the first quarter. I was taking a nap. I woke up, went checked the box score. DJ Moore had 3 catches for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
That's probably not what you want to do when you want to guard a receiver is allow that. Usually that's not a recipe for success.
Nope.
Emmanuel Forbes could not tackle. Every time DJ Moore would catch it, boom, missed. Boom, missed.
Hey, Sean, you know who you could have drafted instead of Emmanuel Forbes? You know who's still on the board? Christian Gonzalez, who was by far and away the second best.
Out for the year.
But for the first few games, Christian Gonzalez has looked amazing. And he could have drafted him. He was the best cornerback on the board, and Joey Porter Jr. was the second best cornerback, and Forbes was the third. And who did you pick? Oh, that's right. You picked Emmanuel Forbes.
Forbes has been good until this week when DJ Moore just...
I understand why we got Forbes, okay? Forbes had 6 pick sixes last year. We had a defense as a bend but don't break defense, but we needed some turnovers. We need somebody that was a ball hawk. Unfortunately, Forbes...
He weighs 120 pounds. So he can't tackle anybody.
He can't go up against anybody big. So they just boxed him out. AJ Brown had a field day last week, and you saw what happened. And DJ Moore is not even that big.
Yeah, DJ Moore just made a miss every time.
Yeah.
DJ Moore was just
it and then just duck under, go down the sideline. Did that twice or 3 times.
They literally have nobody else.
And on offense, the offense was bad. Let's talk about the offense now.
Well, all right.
Brian Robinson, 6 carries for 10 yards.
Okay.
Barely.
Yeah.
He got into double digits. It was barely, but he did get double digits.
Can we talk about hold on. Don't forget our poor man's Baker Mayfield back there. Not only does he look like Baker Mayfield, he played like Baker Mayfield.
Sam
Vintage Brown.
He had
over 300 yards.
Yeah, he had 388 yards, 99 passer rating. He had a run where he looked like beast mode, breaking out of 108 different tackle attempts. But the real problem is the offensive line. The Bears came into week 5 with 2 sacks total. During the game, the Bears had not 1, not 2, not 3, not even 4, but 5 sacks. They more than doubled their sack total against the Commanders this year. People like TJ Edwards, Greg Stroman Jr., DeMarcus Walker, all the players, Rasheed Green.
Right.
And I will say, DeMarcus Walker, when I was watching the game, it wasn't like he had one lucky play where he got sacked. DeMarcus Walker was dominating the left tackle the entire game. Every single
Isn't that
play.
Andrew Wiley?
Wow. You know what?
Andrew Wiley.
Shout out to the people that are watching. Miss Denise Wilson talking about Magic Johnson wants his money back. He took to Twitter. He had some pretty choice words to say. We didn't look good. I mean, we came out flatter than the flat earth theory that Kyrie had. We looked awful. But I mean, I could try to explain it and say we've notoriously had issues with mobile quarterbacks. You know, our front 4 is our defense, and the rest of our back 7 is suspect. Our secondary is very young and poor, but still, we gave up 27 points to the team that's 0-4 in the first half.
Hold on. Not only are they 0-4 in the first half, not only have they looked terrible all year, not only are they the worst team in professional football, they may be the worst team in current North American professional sports. And not only did you lose to them, you got dominated by them. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the Athletics. No. You got dominated by the Oakland Athletics of the NFL. So
now this seems to be a trend for Washington over the last 15 years. Teams that have had double-digit losses, consecutive losses in a row, Washington tends to give them their first victory. The Detroit Lions, who hadn't won in 2 years, we gave them their first victory. The Rams hadn't won in 15 games. We gave them their first victory. And now Chicago, who hadn't won since last October, gets their first victory. So listen, let's come out here. Let's ask the question. Everybody in Washington has been saying it. Should Ron Rivera be on the hot seat? And I'll go one step further. If y'all were in Washington, would you fire him right now?
I would say I wouldn't fire him yet. I would wait until I would fire him in the bye week. If they were to fire him. If you can't turn around by the bye week, that's when you would fire him. You get Bieniemy a week to get himself together and get the new team in.
Wow.
And then you go in and you try and make whatever sense you can out of this, because Commanders haven't they haven't won any games since the Broncos. 3-game losing streak. Play against the Falcons next week. Falcons have a pretty good defense. They have Desmond Ritter, which means that he's going to look. Yeah, and he's going to look like the second coming of Patrick Mahomes against the Commanders defense.
Yeah,
they have Bijan Robinson, but they don't give him they just don't give Bijan Robinson the ball, which is why my tag thing was give Bijan the ball, because Tyler Algier had more carries than him this week. There's no reason.
But we'll make Tyler Algier a superstar. They have a career game playing us. Oh, your dad said, shout out to Steve. What's going on, Miss Walsh? New owners are not going to fix 20 years plus dysfunction in 4 games. I respect that.
Yeah, but we thought this was all fine. We thought this was all fixed. You got rid of the ownership, and you went out into the offseason. You made some good offseason moves on paper. You went out and you got a better tackle than Andrew Wiley, supposedly. You went out and you got him.
Supposedly.
You made some changes on defense. You brought in some secondary help. You lost the mullet man to us, unfortunately, but you did bring in some inside linebacker help. And the defense was supposed to be really good. You re-signed your front 4. And it was supposed to be a good season, and all of these free agency things have just looked like Dan Snyder is still at the helm. They've all come in, and they've all tremendously underperformed and flopped. And I think they knew that this was probably going to happen, that this team was probably going to be bad, and Ron Rivera probably wasn't their coach, which is why Eric Bieniemy made the lateral move over to Kansas City. I don't see Eric Bieniemy making a lateral move from a Super Bowl contender to this team. Without the pre-notion that he is probably going to at least become the interim head coach here and get that head coaching experience for other jobs, or to eventually become the head coach of this squad. So I think they brought him in knowing that Ron Rivera's last year was going to be this year. And I agree with Dylan. I say we give him up until the bye week. You still look bad. You fire him. You put Bieniemy in, and you let the bye week go.
Yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, he's got to figure it out. Each of the last 4 years he's been here, we've started slow. We averaged starting either like 1-5 or 2-6. Even in the year that we won the division, we started in that one like 1-6 or 1-7. So he's notorious for slow starts. It's not going to work. Our defense has been struggling. You guys might be right. It might be that time. I don't know. I mean, unless we completely just let the bottom fall out, he's not going to go before the bye week, but it might be time, but it's only week 5. It's only week 5.
It's only week 5.
So can we say give him grace?
He has 3 years games. Though.
Yeah. Wow. Maybe Matt Cannon.
Awesome. Hire him away. I could get rid of him fast enough. Goodbye.
Look,
bye.
That was a perfect segue, Ms. Rosemary, because somehow, after looking very poor on offense, the Pittsburgh Steelers find a way to beat the Ravens 17-10. They are in tie for first place in the division.
We are first place in the division.
Oh, you are. That's right, because you beat them, right?
Undisputed first place. Yeah.
Wow. So, Collin, explain this to me, because you still want Matt Canada gone, though, right?
Oh, yeah. No. I mean, had you looked at the offense today on paper, it was bad. First quarter, miserable. Right. Second quarter, really bad. Third quarter, extremely bad. Yeah. And then the fourth quarter, we put together some drives because we found out, George Pickens is really good at this whole football thing. Jaylen Warren is somehow just sliding through tackles, jumping over guys. Like, we give our playmakers a chance. And you could see the Steelers were driving towards the second quarter, and you could see Kenny Pickett was actively ignoring his radio, and he was calling plays off of his wristband, and the Steelers were driving down the field. Like, everybody's looking at it, and you could see that there's calls coming in because he goes in like this, and he just kind of shakes his head, and he opens up his playbook, and he's calling plays from his wristband playbook. Like, he was actively ignoring Matt Canada's plays during the game, and he looked amazing.
Okay.
And then Matt Canada starts calling plays again, and then he just looks tremendously like trash. We go run, pass, punt. I would understand. You look at this on paper, and you see 17-10, and you say, oh, well, they had to get some offense going. They had 2 touchdowns. No. We had a safety, 3 field goals, and a touchdown at the last possible second because George Pickens looked really good. Now, you might say, well, at least you had to drive down the field to get all these points. No. Our defense got all but 3 of our points. They got 14 points.
Yeah.
Let's start with the first field goal. The first field goal came off a play where Justice Hill. Jeremy Hill used to play for the Bengals. He fumbled in that playoff game to give us that win. And another Hill, Justice Hill, is slicing through our defense, and Larry Ogunjobi just comes out of nowhere and just Mike Tyson's the football out of his hand.
Yeah.
And we drive down the field, and then we immediately choke at around the 30-yard line like we always do and stall out, and we had to kick a field goal. And then we go back to the fourth quarter, and we had a punt blocked and go out of the back of the end zone for safety. Then it was 10-5. It was scoregami. And then finally, we put a nice drive together. We went down the field, and we stall out in the red zone and have to kick a field goal and make it 10-8. Now, we eventually get the ball.
This is the O's game right here?
No. And then it gets worse. For some reason, Calvin Austin got hurt, but he was back in the game. But we still kept Gunnar Olszewski, noted fumbler and noted horrible kick returner, back there. Not only did he muff
he's
the
a
punt,
first-team All-Pro punt returner.
For the Patriots. Since he's come from the Steelers, he's been bad. He's been really bad. Really bad. And we saw that here. He coughed up the football and gave the Ravens a chance to put the game away. The Ravens drive all the way down, and they throw a pass. And finally, what I've always been saying, let the rookies play. Joey Porter Jr. picks it off in the end zone, and we turn it around.
About time.
And then off that interception, we drove and we scored a touchdown. So those points came off an interception. And our other 3 points came off of a T.J. Watt fumble recovery after I think Alex Highsmith got a strip sack on Lamar Jackson. But our defense just showed up to play, and our special team showed up to play, minus Gunnar Olszewski because he's bad. And so our defense just carried us to this victory. Our offense looks like complete doo-doo. We fell backwards into this win. We are currently failing upwards. And I like that we win, but I would have much preferred we lost this game, because if we lost this game, I don't see any reason for Matt Canada to not be fired after this week, especially going into our bye week. This was our chance to have him fired. He looked terrible calling plays, and this was our chance. And we blew it because our defense just decided to go super sane and win us the game again. This is the 3rd time they've done this year. All 3 of our wins are because our defense – actually, no, the Raiders game, our offense looked good. The Browns and the Ravens, we only won because of our defense.
Divisional games, you guys do it. But look, all right, so let me ask you this. Are you guys closer to the Bears, who just played their greatest game of their existence, or are you closer to Washington, who if we get the right coaches in there, we have the talent to win, but, we just need the right coaches. Who are you closer to? What's
Definitely the Commanders with the coaches. I mean, you look at this team on paper, you look at our defense is stacked. And you look at our offense, outside of some holes on the offensive line, we have all of these weapons, and we should not be this statistically bad. Do you understand that it's harder for our offense to be this consistently bad than it is for them to occasionally accidentally be good? That's how bad this Matt Canada is. He is consistently bad, which is the worst kind of bad. Some people are bad, but they have good games. This guy has been consistently bad for the past 3 years, and he is still calling our plays. And you saw it, the graphics up there. He scored 18 points per game. Every other team has at least 22. Ugh. I don't understand why he is still up in the booth calling plays and not sitting on his couch playing Madden. He's bad.
Maybe
really bad.
Maybe him playing Madden is what got him here. Somebody thought he was good, and maybe they can get it done. But listen, I understand what you're going through. I'm gonna let you kind of cool off. I watched the show from last week, and you were fired up then. and you're still the same energy, even though you won the game. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on. There's a game that comes on tomorrow night, and the Green Bay Packers are playing the Las Vegas Raiders, rematch of Super Bowl II on Monday Night Football. What are you thinking, man? I mean, obviously, we all think they're gonna get the dub, but Vegas is sneaky.
Yeah, Packers. Let's see, we got blown up by the Lions, but we were missing, I think, literally the entire team. Watson was on a snap count, Jones was on a snap count, Bakhtiari was out, Jenkins was out, Jair was out, Rudy Ford went out, Carrington Valentine was out, Javonte Campbell was out, Quay Walker was stupid.
Quay Walker was Quay Walker.
Quay was,
Quay Walker, when he's not doing dumb things, is a top 5 linebacker in the NFL. It's just he always has those moments against the Lions where he needs to do something stupid. I mean,
always the Lions.
Yeah.
The John Runyon got hurt as well in that Lions game. Josh Myers just was bad. Like I can't even try to say something. Zach Tom's been on and off injured, but he's been the best player on the offensive line when he's been healthy. So
Josh
I mean,
Myers?
Center
Isn't he the kicker
Ohio State. No, that's Jason.
I was like,
Myers.
isn't he the kicker? Jason Myers is the kicker for the Seahawks. I'm like, what?
Josh Myers is the center, and we took 1 pick before Creed Humphrey when everyone had Creed Humphrey ranked above Josh Myers.
Yeah. Somebody else could have drafted Creed Humphrey, but they drafted some wide receiver from Notre Dame who's now playing tight end for the Dolphins.
Who?
Chase Claypool.
Oh.
We drafted Claypool over Creed Humphrey and Jalen Hurts. I will never live that down.
Creed
I
Humphrey
wanted
was
them to
the
draft Jalen.
after.
No, Creed Humphrey was that draft.
Okay.
Yeah. We drafted
He was
Jalen Hurts.
draft after.
We drafted Pat
our second
Freiermuth
round pick
over
was
Creed
AJ
Humphrey.
Dillon that draft, and then Josh Myers.
Yeah, we drafted. Yeah, I guess Muth is better for us.
Creed Humphrey's a first team All Pro. I don't know if better, but the Packers. We get Aaron Jones back. Hopefully, he's questionable again, so he still might be on a snap count. Christian Watson is off the injury report, means that he should be good to go full snaps. David Bakhtiari is finally on IR, cleared up a roster spot, finally.
Forever? He's going to go to the forever IR.
Cash, he's good to go.
He makes $40 million a year to sit on the IR, so I think he's just going to chill.
Did you guys sign him to 1-year deals, or is it?
Nah, we gave him a long-term extension. I think 3 days later, he tore his ACL for the first time.
Oh.
And then he just hasn't recovered since.
Is he faking
Was
the
he
injury?
actively trying to tear it? He's like, come on. Get it. Move.
Well, it's...
I want to sit.
Come on, man.
He tried to, do... how Aaron Rodgers has his alternative medicine method?
Oh, God. Yeah.
Bakhtiari followed one of those. Didn't actually repair his ACL fully. So... his ACL has just been slowly getting worse and worse and worse and worse until his knee, a couple other ligaments exploded in his knee. So now he's done. So he's done.
I'm sorry.
But Rasheed Walker, who's a 6th-round pick, and this is what the Packers do all the time. We find these random guys in the 5th, the 6th round to put at O lineman, and they just work out. Rasheed Walker, Zach Tom, TJ Lang, Josh Sitton, earlier.
What about
Sean
Ryan?
Sean Ryan, he just sucks.
Oh.
He's got a 3rd-round pick on him.
The Packers have never had a good 3rd-round pick. That's not our thing. We just
first round.
The Packers. Let's see. Packers 3rd-round picks: Amari Rodgers, Tucker Kraft this year, who's the 3rd-string tight end on our team. Sean Ryan. What's his name? Damon Moore. Just a ton of random. Jamon Moore. That was his name. It's always just bad. But
any of those guys are still
Jay
with your team?
Sternberger, Josiah DeGuara, Oren Burks.
Good guys.
Montravius Adams.
Hey, he plays for the Steelers. He's good for us.
Ty Montgomery, Kyrie Thornton, Richard Rodgers. I would say Richard Rodgers was the last starter we drafted in the 3rd round, 2014.
What about Montravius Adams? He's just not starting for you.
Oh God.
Yeah, but he's also not starting for you.
Oh.
Yeah, he is. He's our starting nose tackle.
Oh.
No,
Ogunjobi.
Ogunjobi plays defensive end.
Is that a
Ogunjobi
good
plays
thing
DN.
or?
No,
I mean,
it's not. We need to put Keanu Benton where Montravius Adams is.
The defense didn't look great.
Cam
today,
Hayward's
but it did
injured,
at points.
so.
They got us our points. That's all that matters.
So I'm looking at the grade. We haven't gotten a grade above a C+. That was our highest grade so far for our
Excellent.
3rd round picks. So yeah, the Packers don't draft in the 3rd round well. But what we do draft well is O lineman in the 5th round. That's
Those
where
are good stats.
Yeah,
Let's consult the
I was
stats.
making sure. 4th round for Josh Sitton. TJ Lang was 3rd. No, he wasn't 3rd. That's he was 4th round as well. So yeah, 4th, 5th, 6th round.
Okay.
We find these random guys, they plug them in, and they become superstars.
Okay. Later in the draft, I like that.
So like the Packers O lineman, like we're O line even without Bakhtiari, we're usually ranked top 10 if the entire squad is healthy, which is just not been often this year. We do get Alex Jenkins back. He's off the injury report this week, but mostly everyone else is questionable, which is always fun.
So with that
question.
Look, with that being said, I mean, we know the Raiders got some injuries and whatnot, but
Devontae questionable as well. Hasn't practiced. Practice
Is Jimmy
limited
G
Saturday.
gonna play?
Yeah,
he is coming back. Okay, he is in there. So
I mean, protocol.
What do you think though? Like, I mean, normally this should be an easy one, but now it's kind of like this leaves to be a flip of the coin.
I think the Packers win this quite simply because the Raiders defense might be the worst in the league besides Max Crosby. So
Washington gave up. I started Washington's defense in my fantasy league.
-5. So does
-5. Yeah.
I have an indictment for our Raiders defense here. They made Matt Canada look like a competent play caller. Wow. That's how bad their defense is.
Oh my goodness gracious!
And we still didn't look all that good.
The Raiders defense is just not good. They're missing one of their starting corners as well. Nate Hobbs is going to be out. So
they don't have that other side of the pass rush without Chandler Jones because he's off doing
what he he's in a mental hospital. He's
is he really?
Yeah, CTE.
He got Antonio Brown.
It's like a bye week for the Packers.
It is not like a bye week for the Packers.
It is not like a bye week.
Last person that said that is where
exactly
the clown outfit boys.
This is also because my Orioles lost today too. Oh my god!
The Orioles are about to get swept. They're about to get swept by the
Orioles.
Rangers.
Had the best record and they still can't do it. They still look like the ye old Orioles.
Well, no one expected the Orioles to be good this year. I loved they had like a 2% chance at the beginning of the year to make the playoffs, and they finished with the 1 seed. Next year is their year, I would say. So
next year is never our year. All right.
Jack Flaherty looks like a bust, like an absolute trade.
Why did we get him from the Cardinals?
Because he was good on the Cardinals, and you traded for him. And then
he hasn't been good since we got Tommy John.
Now Ben shows up. Thank you for joining us, Ben. Baltimore Orioles. Yes, we dunk us in milk because we're.
Hold on. Actually, the new Halloween Oreos are actually black and orange. So
okay, orange is the new black.
They are the Baltimore Orioles.
All right, look. So Green Bay, Las Vegas. You said you get the W? What's the score? And will it be close?
I think Jordan Love. He's had a couple weeks where he struggled a little bit. Against the Saints before the last quarter, and then against the Saints, he was under pressure. I think 100% of the plays. It felt like 100% of the plays. So I think finally with an offensive line and against Poor's defense, he gets back to looking good. Plus, we get all of his weapons back. So I think the Packers probably have a good offensive game. I think the final score is going to be 34-23 Green Bay.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Hopefully
I
they
see
can
it.
get the dub, and you can split. Well, actually, it's not splitting the group because I lost and your brother won. So maybe
Woohoo! Join the winners.
yeah, join the other
Join the-
side. Walsh is 2. Sean won, lost. Yeah, I just don't even want to talk about it.
Sean,
Accurate.
nothing.
Todd 0.
Sean Clown.
Oh wait, no. Yeah, those were
Who
good.
the Commanders
wins,
play
so
next
that's-
week?
The
play,
Falcons. We play Atlanta.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's right. Because I picked up the Falcons defense in fantasy for
Yeah.
next week.
Oh wait. That. Hold on, I got it. I got
I'm
this.
actually not worried about it if Desmond Ridder plays, even though he can be mobile, he can do his thing. I'm more
But
worried
what if they
about
put
it.
Bijan at quarterback and Algier at running back?
No.
Wait,
if
are they
do
playing?
then when
Hold on.
they
Wait,
run
wait.
Wildcat the entire game
Are they playing in Atlanta or in Washington?
It's in Atlanta.
in Atlanta.
It's in Atlanta. And
Desmond
the
Ridder
backup
has not
is, right?
lost at home.
You know the
And
backup
Taylor
quarterback.
Heineke.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna play him. He knows us. And none of our guys.
No,
are gonna
Desmond
hit him.
Ridder. Desmond Ridder has not lost a game at home in his career, so
Are
he's
you
5-0
serious?
at home.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in college he went 26-0 in college at home.
Yeah, he
He's
hasn't lost a
pretty-
game at home since high school.
All right. Let's move on. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We saw you all in the comments. There were some games today, ladies and gentlemen. As we've seen, there's a game later on tonight. Go San Francisco. FU Dallas. Sorry. We have to dive into it. First and foremost,
We the
London.
boys. We going to the Super Bowl.
them
Anyway.
boys. But
We
I
them.
can't-
Just checking to see if you still them boys.
I can't say anything because we lost to the Bears. So,
That Bears.
in today's early matchup, our overseas adventure, we found out again who the real Josh Allen is as the
And it's
Jacksonville
still the other one.
Jaguars.
Hold on. No. Defensive Josh Allen got hosed by the refs on that roughing the passer call.
Mhm.
What is he? He even did what we joke about doing, which is laying the quarterback down gently. He grabbed him and then he just kind of moved him to the floor and he got thrown with a penalty.
Yep. I was listening in the car to the Bills broadcast, and even the Bills play-by-play announcer was like, "Dude, that was a terrible call. He barely hit him. What do you want him to do?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it was rough. Nonetheless, the Jaguars seem to own things overseas, and they go in back-to-back weeks, get the W. Jags win 25-20. Buffalo's now 3-2. Should we be worried? I mean, they beat the Dolphins and they beat us. And
The Bills have they had this against the Jets as well, where Josh Allen, and it's really this week it was the run game that kind of sold them. James Cook had 5 carries for -4 yards, which that's pretty bad.
Yeah, their leading rusher was Josh Allen, right?
Yeah, with 14 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Damian Harris
Oh
had
my
13.
God.
Latavius Murray had 6, and James Cook had -4.
Only
The
they
only
had
reason
a
why
running back.
they were close is because Stephon Diggs went 8 for 21. Gabe Davis went 6 for 100. Deontay Hardy had a huge catch. Didn't get out of bounds, which kind of messed up the Bills.
Mhm.
But I mean, the Jaguars also looked really good for back-to-back weeks after starting off slow. Trevor Lawrence had a good week again. Travis Etienne went for a huge amount, 136, 2 touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence went for over 315. So, I mean, the Jaguars, I think, just proves that they're still a competitive team.
Yeah.
And the Bills, I don't think this matters that much. They're probably going to come back next week, play a really bad team, get the Giants, and then blow them out. So,
and Buffalo had a number of injuries on the team, but I think at the end of the day, the biggest issue for Buffalo in this game is, you had 11 penalties for over 100 yards.
yeah.
And, I mean, you were getting penalties at the worst possible times when your offense is moving, and then all of a sudden you got to come back, and now you're behind the chain. So Buffalo, I was talking to my buddy Johnny D, shout out to him. he was saying, hey, that jet lag is a real thing. Buffalo didn't get there till Friday. And you got an early game a day and a half later as to where Jacksonville has already been there, and they've been there for the last 10 days. So, I can see. But, hey, this is interesting. Both 3-2. Again, I don't think this is going to matter as much. Going on down the list, an AFC South matchup. Collin, the Colts, they lose their quarterback, but they beat the Titans 23-16. What you think?
Mm-hmm. Anthony Richardson, I'm going to tell you something that Sean's team should have learned from the past.
Oh, God.
When you have a very mobile quarterback who is really electric and stuff, he only keeps that electricity if he knows when to slide and to go down and not take stupid hits and stupid injuries. It's what ruined RG3, one of the most electric players we've ever seen, and he was just not the same after he got hurt too much. This is the third time you've left a game with an injury early. Please slide. We want you to stay around. We like watching you play. You're fun to watch play, but you can't do that if you're sitting on IR.
There it is.
You got to slide. Tennessee, why is Ryan Tannehill still your starting quarterback? I mean, you have Will Levis and Malik Willis. I mean, Malik Willis is going to take time to develop. He's probably just trade bait for you to knock away at the deadline. But, you drafted Will Levis in the second round. He fell to you. He puts mayo in his coffee for some reason. I'm never going to get over that. But you have him on the bench. Ryan Tannehill has not looked good. King Henry has looked like he's been dethroned. He's been ousted. He's getting up there in age for running backs. He's no longer got the explosiveness, and you're still lacking any wide receiver. I mean, Traylon Burks is okay, but since you traded away A.J. Brown, you signed DeAndre Hopkins for A.J. Brown money, even though he's older and a lot less. He's not at his peak.
He went 8 for 140 this week.
8 for 140 this week?
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He killed my fantasy team.
Oh. Well, I mean, DeAndre Hopkins, I guess, is doing good. I mean, I guess, but still, you got to win these games. You got to win these games. You have to win these games against the Browns and the Colts because it's not going to get any easier for you in the AFC. And I think if you can't do it this year, I think it's time to cut your losses and build around Will Levis and start rebuilding.
I mean, hey, go ahead. Yeah, finish up.
I think their window is shut, and if it's not shut, it is just the teeniest bit open, especially in the loaded AFC. They aren't going to get far with this team.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy to get it done if you can't muster up victories against a struggling Colts team who just got their Jonathan Taylor. They just got
nothing.
him. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
Zach Moss. They have Zach Moss.
And Zach Moss, I mean, he had over 150. I think he had $165 and 2 TDs today. Yeah. Dylan, did they sign Jonathan Taylor too quickly? Maybe they should have said, hold up, let's just wait a little while.
Well, you signed, I don't know. Zach Moss has been doing well all year. It just seems like Jonathan Taylor just was not on the field this week. I think they're slowly going to get him back in. They didn't really need Jonathan Taylor, though. I mean, Zach Moss, 23 for 165, 2 touchdowns, had 2 catches for 30 as well. Josh Downs went 6 for 97.
Tar Heels.
Yeah, that's a really good game. Seems like he's on his way to being number 1 receiver. But yeah, Jonathan Taylor had 7 touches this game. Averaged 3 yards a carry. Just was not good. Anyway, Zach Moss had the better game. So you ride with the hot hand and use the committee, I guess, right now.
Not broke, don't fix it. I mean, come on. Real quick, let me address this. Hey, Sean, what was the score of the Orioles game? 10-8. So the clown is out. La la la. You were right, Alec. We're down 2-0 in the series. I love it. Love it when people just want to they live to just steal your joy. My daggone Orioles. I don't want to talk about it. Look, moving on. Another team that has no joy, and I'm coming back to you, Dylan. The New England Patriots might need to just go ahead and give up. Are they getting Caleb Williams this year? Because their offense has scored 3 points in 2 weeks. They lose to the Saints 34-0. What in the world is going on?
Yeah. Again, the Patriots threw more touchdowns to the other team than they scored themselves, which I think is the second week they've happened. This happened.
Yeah.
Maybe even third. How many touchdowns did they throw week 1?
Not a lot.
Not a lot at all.
So I mean, Mac Jones, I think that we've learned is not it. Oh no, Mac Jones threw for 3 touchdowns week 1. So this only happened twice. Back-to-back weeks, though, they've scored more touchdowns for the other team than they have for their team. So that's usually not a good way to win a game. Not only have they scored 3 points in 2 weeks, they've also given up 72 points in 2 weeks. Lost 38-3 and 34-0. Back-to-back. They get a get right game against the Raiders next week, but I think this second week Mac Jones has been benched halfway through. Has thrown 3 pick sixes this season. Has looked terrible. I think it's just time for the Patriots to trade Mac Jones right now. Go see if we can get something for him. Start Zappy for the rest of the season. Get Trent Brown's contract off. Fire Belichick, get his contract off, and make him retire. Because Belichick, in his no coordinators way, has really proven the past 3 years to just not work. Joe Judge, not it. Matt Patricia, not it. Can't just throw some random guy at offense and make him call plays. That just doesn't work.
It's Bill O'Brien, right?
Is it? Yeah, it is. I thought so. Is he not back in Alabama?
That is Bill O'Brien. No, Bill O'Brien is the offensive coordinator of the New England Patriots.
Go ahead and blow it all up, man. Blow it all up. Collin, what you think?
I don't see any good on this offense from the Patriots. I don't see any player on there who is good. I mean, your only good players are Mike Gesicki, who's really underperformed this year, a washed Ezekiel Elliott, Juju Smith-Schuster, who hasn't put it together since coming over from the Kansas City Chiefs and left with an injury in this game. I mean, I'm scrolling through here, and your leading receiver is Kendrick Bourne, which 2 receptions and 43 yards. I mean, outside of that, you have some guy, Demario Douglas, with a reception and 24 yards. You have Devontae Parker with 2 receptions for 20 yards. Mike Gesicki, 2 receptions for 17. I mean, there's nothing good on this offense. There is nothing good. So I don't know if it's all on Mac Jones or the fact that nobody can seem to play football at all on this Patriots offense, and they haven't been able to do it. And I can just say, on behalf of the entire NFL, nobody feels bad for New England. I'm sorry. We're all laughing at you. You deserve this. You deserve this. This is what you deserve. You get what you deserve. I mean, it's time for you to be bad for a while and not be good. You had your run, and now it's over. It is very much over, New England fans. Goodbye. Don't come at me. Go back to your Dunkin' Donuts. Don't care.
Wow. You've been holding that one in for a while, huh?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead.
Killer Bees would have been really.
Hey,
Killer Bees.
Let's go ahead and move off of that one. The number 2 draft pick in the league, CJ Stroud, has been playing well with the Texans, but they were not able to get the W today. The Atlanta Falcons, who we play next week, win the game by 2, 21-19. Who do we say? Who is this more on? Is this yay for the Falcons for getting another dub, or we didn't really expect much from the Texans, but they have been playing great lately? Like, does this benefit one or the other, or is it just 50-50? Who cares?
The Falcons finally had a week where, I mean, they tried their best. They finally used Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts had 11 targets this week, went 7 for 87.
Yes, 7 receptions, 87,
Drake London had 9 targets, went 6 for 78. So they got their 2 top 10 picks. But instead of giving, Bijan Robinson, who I think has probably looked like the second best running back in the league just behind Christian McCaffrey this year, with the way he just makes someone miss them. Instead of giving him, I don't know, they had 36 total carries. Bijan had 14 of those. Algier had 17, averaged 2.4 yards a carry. And Bijan only had 1 target, or had 2 targets as well. Had 2 one-handed catches in his 2 targets, 1 for a touchdown.
Wow.
I don't know why Bijan doesn't get the ball every single play for this team.
Yeah.
He is the best player, best offensive player. Probably, definitely on the team, probably in all of the NFC South as well. I don't think anyone's close to him in the NFC South.
Not even
So,
Kamara, no.
but Kamara is he just gets checkdowns and gets tackled right away right now.
That's why you
hit
14 receptions for 30 yards last week or something?
13 for 33 last week.
That's craziness. That's crazy. But look, to the other side, Collin, you've seen this team in the Texans up close and personal. You saw what they did to your Steelers. CJ Stroud has almost 1,500 yards with 7 TDs and no interceptions. I mean, is this man for real? Like, what do you think about this game?
I mean, especially with the lack of talent on this Texans team. I mean, outside of their rookie receivers are still a bit raw. They have Dalton Schultz and Dameon Pierce, but like it's been a lot of CJ Stroud putting these guys on his back and deciding to carry them. I mean, he's the best Ohio State quarterback I think we've ever seen. I mean, you could count Joe Burrow as an Ohio State quarterback technically, but he was more an LSU quarterback.
Right.
But like, I mean, this Houston Texans team has been playing above and beyond. They're slowly starting to get it together. I see them a lot like how I saw the Detroit Lions of last year, where they got a head coach that's God knows what he's doing. I think D'Amico Ryans knows exactly what he's doing. I think this Texans team is still going to keep moving forward and being really good. I think it just finally caught up to them, and they finally faced another team who was built to play a similar style and built to play around it. And I think losing Tank Dell for the Texans did not help them at all. They had some injuries. And I think this is just the Texans coming back down to earth and saying, hey, you've been playing pretty good, but it's still not your time yet. You still have a lot of raw rookie talent that needs to get better. And we saw this a lot, especially on their defense, where they have some holes, where they allowed the Falcons to go down the field and they let Young Hui Koo kick the field goal at the end to end it. So, yeah, I see this Texans team as being a team very much on the up, but a team that is still very raw.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, we'll see how they go down the year. But shout out to the Falcons for getting this dub. One team that wasn't fortunate enough to get a dub and hasn't gotten one this year currently has the number 1 overall pick, Bryce Young, on their team. The Carolina Panthers lose again, this time to the Detroit Lions, who put up 42 on them, 42-24. I can't say I didn't expect this because I definitely saw this coming. Carolina just is struggling this year. But Detroit.
I think I can sum up this game in about 6 words. Panthers bad. Lions good. Lions win.
Yep.
I think that's all that really has to be better.
Short sweet, baby. Short sweet.
I have another thing here for you. Hey, Carolina. So Adam Thielen had a really good game. He had 11 receptions, 107 yards, and a touchdown. But that's the only real weapon you have for Bryce Young. Now, if only you had another receiver, perhaps, who goes for 200 and some yards and 3 touchdowns. Somebody with they
wouldn't have Bryce Young if they didn't trade DJ Moore.
Oh.
But was quarterback really the Carolina Panthers?
You came around with that shot to me. Oh, yes, DJ Moore balled out.
Yeah, anyway, I don't really see – I think I questioned this from the moment that the Panthers traded up to get Bryce Young. I get you want a quarterback, but we've seen time and time again that getting a first-round quarterback and then not surrounding him with talent is usually a recipe to get that guy killed. I mean, their offensive line hasn't looked great at all. Their defense has a lot of holes, and offensively, their only real weapon was Christian McCaffrey, who they traded away, and DJ Moore, who they traded away to get up to the position to draft Bryce Young. And I just don't – I still don't understand. It puzzled me then. It still puzzles me now, this decision to trade so much up for a quarterback who is going to get killed, and why you even start Bryce Young. I don't think starting Bryce Young and throwing him into the fire. I think you let Andy Dalton play a few games. I think you let Bryce Young sit until you get the offensive line and the help so he doesn't keep running around and looking kind of meh. I mean, he's not even the second best quarterback out of the draft class so far. I mean, he's like third, and the only reason he's third is because Will Levis hasn't played, so we have no idea how he's going to do.
Or Hooker.
Yeah, or Headed Hooker, who I don't think is going to get any play time.
Well, not with the
unfortunate, because my brother really liked him.
Yeah. Hey, Hendon he had it before the injury, man. Heupel had him moving and grooving in Tennessee. Wait a minute. Shout out to Zagnus. Say that again. REC Fields, Justin Kubik. You got it done against us. Was that a shot? Was that a shot, Handy? Because your team won. Get out of here.
I mean, if you say that, because Justin Fields has just had that one really good game against Commanders,
And
so
the
really he's
Broncos.
a good XFL quarterback. He's only done well against XFL teams.
So,
Yeah. Maybe the DC Defenders should be the DC NFL team.
Wow. You know what? I'm in the clown outfit, so I take.
It's clown time, yeah.
I mean, apparently that's what we're doing right now. I'm moving on, daggone it. All right. Yo, the Dolphins do us as Washington a favor and beat the Giants 31-16. I did go on record and pick the Giants to win this game. I was trying to be too smart for my own good.
Why?
Well, I found out later. I found out today that Saquon was not playing, so I get it. I thought Saquon can do it. I don't know why. It's the second time this year I picked the Giants and they've lost, so I'm done picking the Giants.
Giants
so
still
New York
not scoring an offensive touchdown in the first half.
Are you serious?
I don't think the Giants
no.
should pay.
New York, what's happened to you, man? We thought you were going to be good. We thought you were a dark horse Super Bowl team coming into the season, and you look terrible. Not even bad. It's been terrible. I mean, you came out opening night, Sunday night, and just got destroyed by the Dallas Cowboys. You almost lost to the tanking Cardinals before they remembered, oh, wait, no, we're tanking, and they lost the game. I mean, that's your only win so far. And Daniel Jones looks bad, but he's also just getting murdered back there. I mean, today he was sacked 6 times. And on the last sack, he was hit so hard he had to leave the game, and in comes Tyrod Taylor, who doesn't look any better. I mean, it's just been bad. Darren Waller came over. He had his best game of the season with 8 receptions and 86 yards, but he's the only real wideout you have. I mean, Darius Slayton's all right. I mean, Paris Campbell, Darius Slayton, Isaiah Hodges, Wan'Dale Robinson. Sterling Shepard isn't even on the list. I mean, what happened to you? You were supposed to be good, but
were they? Were they?
Yeah, they were supposed to be. We came in, we were talking, Brian Dable, he's turned this whole thing around. Danny Derps may actually no longer be Danny Derps and may be the Danny Dimes we all dreamed of, but no, he's still Danny Derps.
He's Danny Pennies. Okay,
Danny Pennies. Yeah.
He's Danny no money, no change at all because he has not changed. He's the same.
He hasn't not thrown a touchdown pass since the Cardinals game.
Wow. What? I can't even say I'm really surprised. Miami gets a W. We know they've put up 70 on crappy teams before, so maybe the Giants should put their application in for the XFL. Obviously, until they meet Washington, we know what happens in those games. Moving on down the list, in another game that I picked wrong because I just felt like Cincinnati, they couldn't sustain. They could not keep it going even because they've been terrible for all this year, but they get the W 34-20. And I mean, are they back or are the Cardinals just the tanking Cardinals we thought they were?
I mean, we can't judge the Bengals yet. I mean, we can't. We just can't. I mean, you come out here, Jamar Chase has the game of his life. He just goes off, and Joe Burrow finally looks a lot better. But the final score of this game is kind of inflated. It doesn't give you the full scale of how close this game really was all the way through. And, I mean, the Cardinals were keeping pace with the Bengals, and I still see Joe Burrow. He's out there, and he had his best game of the season. Don't get me wrong. He had, 36 completions and 317 yards and 3 touchdowns, but he's still getting sacked 3 times today. He threw a really bad interception. I mean, Joe Burrow still isn't really looking like the Joe Burrow that I know, who is just going off, and especially against this Cardinals team, you would have thought he would have went out there and he would have wiped the floor, but it was competitive all the way through, and just I'm going to say this. I think the Bengals may have a head coaching problem. I think Zach Taylor is really bad. He's a really bad head coach. He's being carried by the exceptional talent there, but you're no longer going to have that talent. I mean, a few seasons down the line, you're going to have to decide between paying Jamar Chase or Tyler Boyd or Joe Mixon again. And the talent here is going to start leaving. I mean, T. Higgins is already gone after this season. This is the last year of his contract, and you can't afford to pay him because you have to pay Jamar Chase. So T. Higgins is gone after this season. I see them losing a lot of talent, and their draft could be good, but I mean, this is their year to win it. This is probably their last year with this three-headed receiver monster, and it just hasn't looked like the Cincinnati Bengals we've all seen before.
Mm-hmm. Especially with Higgins being out now. I mean, big ups to Chase for getting. I needed Mixon to move. I needed him to get the yards that he did for my fantasy. But yeah, this is this consistent? Is this going to be what's going on from the future, or is this just today because you played the team that you're supposed to do this to? You know?
Yeah.
So. Moving on down the list for the 4:00 games, another one that I picked wrong. I'm just gonna stop picking games. The Eagles pulled it out, even though Cooper Kupp was with his dynamic younger mini me Puka Nacua. They could not get it done. The Eagles win this thing 23-14 and remain undefeated. Dylan, did you expect this? Did you expect the Eagles to get it done, or do you think the Rams could have pulled this one out?
I think the Rams have been overperforming a lot this year.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense is Aaron Donald and a bunch of players who are either in their first or second year in the NFL. So, and Aaron Donald, their defense was struggling. Gave up a touchdown at the end of the half. It was a lot of bend but don't break, a couple field goals, but man, the Rams just. Without Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, it was bad. They just had to keep throwing slants to both of them the entire game. Every play was just slant, catch, slant, catch, slant, catch. Yep. Kyron Williams, I think, finally has come down to earth. Only 13 carries, 53 yards. Was not able to have the game that he's been having. But I think this is more like what we're going to see out of both teams. The Eagles still just going to control time of possession, win close games. And I think the Rams just aren't good enough. They don't have the talent to get it done.
Yeah. Yeah, because this ain't their Super Bowl team that they had from a couple years ago. It's a lot different of a team. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, they unfortunately weren't able to hold up, but we kind of expected this. A game that I know everybody was dying to see. The New York Jets played the Denver Broncos in the game of the worst of us all. Shout out to Scott Thaller, who is a diehard Rams fan, so I still love my team. Yes, you do, buddy, and I am rooting for you. Although you did say yesterday before the Missouri game for people to bet on Missouri and the Rams, and they both lost. Not taking your advice. Love you, buddy. Yo, Jets, Broncos. Is Zach Wilson it, or is just the worst of the worst playing the worst of the worst?
Breece Hall. Breece Hall was him.
Yeah.
Breece Hall, 177 rushing yards and a touchdown. I mean, Breece Hall was the entire offense for the New York Jets today.
So yeah, they took away Breece Hall's snap count, so he's finally back to last year. Zach Wilson he's a quarterback. He does play the quarterback position.
He does enough. He's no Tim Boyle, but it is what it is.
Yeah, but this game, Sean Payton did not coach well, which is funny considering he was going against Nathaniel Hackett, who he criticized. Still, I mean, I don't think anyone could top the coaching performance that Miami Hurricanes coach had. Not kneeling the ball.
Oh God! How do you lose to Georgia Tech?
The Broncos got close to doing that. Russell Wilson on the game-winning drive, or trying to get the game-winning touchdown, fumbled it. Bryce Hall went to the house with it, got me 8 points for my fantasy team, which I really appreciated.
That's what it's all about. I mean, apparently.
But was anybody else who didn't have a player in fantasy watching this game? It was either I have a player in this fantasy game, or I'm not watching this.
Yeah. I mean, Russell Wilson, he's just bad. He's just bad. I mean, on that last play especially.
He had a good enough game. He had 103 ratings.
Decent.
On the last play of that game, he's running out of the pocket. He's going to run, and he gets hit. He doesn't get hit on his arm at all. He gets hit in the back, and he moves forward, and he literally just drops the ball.
Oh.
He literally just drops the ball on that game-winning touchdown. And you can see him going to the sideline, and Sean Payton is livid at him. Like, if you watch videos of it, I've watched this clip on the internet. Sean Payton is livid at Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson is just ignoring him. This is not good for the Denver Broncos. I mean, you gave up so much for Russell Wilson, and he has just not shown up. I mean, the ride never ends for you Broncos fans. This ride you got on never ends. It's never going to end. You're never going to forget it.
Russell Wilson has been good this year. 106 passer rating, over 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns, only 2 picks. It's just he doesn't have people. The defense gives up 70, gives up 24 to the Jets, gave up 28 to the Broncos, gave up 35 to the Commanders. I mean, the Broncos defense is so bad. Maybe I said the Raiders was one of the worst. The Broncos are up there as well. The AFC West just has some interesting defenses.
Mr. Vance Joseph.
outside of Pat Surtain, there really isn't anybody on that Broncos defense.
Him and Justin Simmons.
Yeah,
it does not look good. It does not look good, Denver. But you can't beat the. It does not look good. We're gonna move on to 2 people that were on the Netflix series Quarterback. Your old teacher, my fiance, her favorite quarterback was in this ball game. Kirk Cousins. And the Minnesota Vikings fall short against the Chiefs, 27-20. And I got to ask the question. The Vikings are now 1-4 too. Kevin O'Connell, I've heard his name on that hot seat list. Did he need to implode? Did he just blow everything up?
I mean, every single Vikings game this year has been one possession. Yeah. They're really good at getting these one possession games. I think it's a different story if Justin Jefferson doesn't get hurt. Justin Jefferson was out all the fourth quarter. Kirk Cousins did well enough again. Another player I have on my fantasy team.
He always does well enough. He did well enough for Washington, over 4,000 yards. But can't do that with a 500 record.
The Chiefs just Travis Kelce had one of the best games the tight ends ever had. Not like stat sheet wise, but he would just single-handedly find a way to catch a pass or get open, make Mahomes' life so much easier.
After getting hurt.
Got hurt. People thought he was gonna had like a torn Achilles, and he just went back out like after the quarter ended.
No, I did. I noticed we watched this game. I didn't see a lot of Taylor. Was she?
She wasn't there.
She was.
She was there.
It's because no one willingly wants to go to Minnesota.
No.
Like, why would you?
Their stadium's cool. Their stadium is cool.
But what else is there to do there? Like, you go to Kansas City because that's Chiefs' home stadium. You go to New York because you got a place in New York. And it's New York. Why would you willingly go to Minnesota?
I don't know. In defense of Minnesota, they got absolutely hosed on one of those penalties. I mean, 4th down and 12, lobs it up to Jordan Addison, who is clearly interfered with. And then not only that, Ladarius Sneed takes off his helmet on the field. And they call the penalty back because it's a tipped ball. Even on the replay, it shows the ball was not tipped, so that should have been the penalty. The penalty should have stood. And Sneed still should have gotten a penalty for taking his helmet off on the field and what would have given the Vikings a first down.
Nah,
but the Vikings
first down. It changed possession. It's just half the distance.
It didn't change possession.
Would have been an automatic first down?
Yeah, it would have been an automatic first down for pass interference.
Since the flag didn't get called, it would have been.
But the flag, they were arguing that the flag being thrown means that it wasn't a change of possession when he took the helmet off. So anyway, but you shouldn't have been throwing it on a 4th and 12 anyway. There's still 5 minutes left in the game. A field goal will make it so the next time you get the ball, which they did eventually get the ball back.
They had 0 timeouts.
It's still 5 minutes left.
That they would have the exact same amount of time. Back to with 7 again. It's still they need a touchdown.
Bad timeout management put them in this position, and they got hosed by a referee call. It was just not a very good day to be a Minnesota Vikings fan.
Is it ever a very good day to be a Minnesota Vikings fan?
They're 1-4, and Justin Jefferson's injured, so I think today's pretty bad.
You know who else is 1-4 in that division? Chicago Bears.
Bears.
Yeah, and
You're doing it to yourself now.
There's-
Go ahead.
There's 2 confident teams in that division and 2 not confident teams in that division. It's a divide.
Just go ahead and put us in that division because we're awful. Look,
Well, it's the same thing for the NFC East. You got 2 confident teams, 2 not confident teams.
Confident teams.
I'll tell you, the Commanders are not part of that confident team section.
Are the Cowboys really that confident?
the Cowboys.
They've won 2
Cowboys.
games by 35
Yeah.
or 35 plus.
They blanked the Giants, so they're definitely confident in that. But look, and speaking of the Cowboys, they're playing
7-0.
right now in the first quarter, down 7-0 to San Francisco. Thank you, San Francisco. I do appreciate that. But the Cowboys do have the ball with just under 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. Colin, I'll go to you first. What is your prediction? What do you think is going to happen in this game?
I think them boys are going to have one of them boys' games. And I think they're just going to not get blanked necessarily, but they're going to get destroyed by the San Francisco team. I mean, Dallas has been playing really well, but without Trayvon Diggs on that defense, and I mean, San Francisco has so much offensive firepower, and Brock Purdy is still undefeated as a starting quarterback. I mean, San Francisco has just been tearing through it, and we've seen that in this game, and I'm like, geez, man. I don't have any faith in Dallas. I don't. I think San Francisco easily wins this game and improves to 5-0, and we get to laugh at the Cowboys again. I'm really looking forward to that.
I do like that. Dylan, what you think, man?
I think Niners are the better team. Scored 30 points every single week this year. They've scored exactly 33 out of the 4 weeks, so they're really good at getting to that threshold. But yeah, the Niners defense is really good. The Niners offense has been clicking. Brandon Ayuk looks good. Christian McCaffrey looks like the best player in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Niners take this one, get 30 again, probably win 33 to 21. No, 28. 33-28.
Okay.
Cowboys keep it close just because usually Cowboys are pretty close within it. They just always lose them. Yeah. I don't think Ezekiel Elliott plays center in this game, at least. They might try something like that, but apparently that wasn't the smartest idea. Look, so I think they go away from that this week.
That will forever be his last play in the Cowboys jersey.
I mean, yeah, it was so beautiful. I had that as my screensaver on my phone for a while. But Zeke actually, 4 receptions in that game for I believe like 17 yards with New England and didn't score any points.
Well, who else are they going to give the ball to?
That's what I'm saying. He had the most receptions of any player on that team. But look, at the end of the day, Brock Purdy, shout out to him from San Francisco, 4 or 5, has a touchdown, over 40 yards. Christian McCaffrey has 5 carries for over 20 yards. So they're doing solid. Up to this point, I believe Dak doesn't even have a completion. He might never mind. I spoke too soon. He's 2 of 4. Let's see. Look, it's time for San Francisco to lose. Is Disco taking them boys all the way? Wait a minute. Let me see who this is. Nicole Klajek. What is going on, Nicole? Congratulations on your marriage. Glad. I don't know if you're in Mexico or if you're back, but hey, hope all is well. I don't understand this love affair with you and the Cowboys, but it's okay.
Who them boys?
San Francisco, where's their Disco?
Dak just got sacked. Worth that.
Yes. Yes. Boom. Oh, I like that. I like that.
You like that? You like that?
You like that? All right. Look. Woo. Another week, man. This was fun. This always seems to be fun with y'all, man. I enjoy this conversation going back and forth, talking football, even if I get to, suit up in this garb.
Well, I think throughout the season, all of us will have a week like that. We have to with Chiefs.
Yes.
The Steelers have to play every single week, so that's all.
We have to play football.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to hide my drip because I'm not Kirk Cousins. The drip. Was that cat Kirk Cousins? Yeah.
No.
But look, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you being here with us. Wait a minute. I'm trying to Do this real quick. Oh my goodness. Are you coming, Kat?
No.
Come on. Come here.
No.
Catherine, your students want to see you.
Hello.
I'm going to show you in the kitchen.
Please stop.
And then you better come on over here. Catherine Hughes wants to say a word
I don't.
as she is so excited about her boy is doing so amazing.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Hey guys. Anyway.
Hello.
Wow,
I'm
that's
really talking about it.
see that that's well, okay. Never
Not really talking
never
about
ask
it.
me again to come be the talent.
I'm the talent when I choose.
Oh wow. See this? See this? Look, guys, so appreciative of you guys coming on. Now I know there are some of you out there that were looking for the long snappers report by our guy Dylan, but there's not enough footage. Actually, there's not any footage of long snappers. Apparently, they don't get looked at. I don't get it.
I'll do some more looking. See if I can.
Yo, but we also have a backup quarterbacks list. We need to see that. We need to see if there's anybody greater than.
I can do backup quarterback footage.
Yeah.
That's easy. I get
Yes.
college footage.
There we go. There we go. Next week,
College
stay
footage.
tuned
Yeah.
for that. All right. So hey, for my guy, Mr. Dylan Walsh, Mr. VCU, Mr. I Hate Matt Canada, Mr. Collin Walsh, and your boy Sean Spencer. Clown look because we let Chicago put 40 on us. So it's time for me to go because I can't.
Clowns.
The clowns. The clowns. Peace, people. We'll see y'all next week.